invite Sara to please come forward, and let's be seated for just a moment.
Good morning. Thank you, Father. I'm Sara Porter, and I'm delighted to discuss Parish Life stewardship opportunities. Parish Life is composed of a variety of committees to provide hospitality and create a sense of belonging for parishioners and visitors. There are many committees, and each of them is described in your bulletin last week and on the internet, the website. There's also a few booklets in the back. You know, the challenge for many of us with stewardship is finding time and finding a fit with our talents. Some of us are great cooks, some of us are handy with technology, some of us are blessed with an ability to schedule our time any way we want, and some of us have significant constraints upon our time. There are people in this parish who can pray, who can set up buffets, who can work digital cameras, who can cook, who can knit. There are those who love a crowd, and those of us who prefer solitude or small groups. Parish Life has committees for all of us. The Parish Life committees, for me, represent the loving nature of the church. As St. Paul describes, we are all parts of one body, and we are all important. These various committees allow each of us to find our niche. Every year we discuss stewardship. This year, we're holding witness talks for 3 months in a row so we can highlight some of our ministries. We have a stewardship corner in the bulletin every week. Why so much emphasis? Because stewardship is vital to ensure a parish does more than survive, to make it thrive with gratefulness and a sense of the abundance of God's love. Quite frankly, we need more money and we need more volunteers to support a thriving community. We, like many congregations, were hit by the pandemic. Fewer people are attending church at all, and many of our parishioners returned to their neighborhood parishes during the pandemic and have not come back downtown. So I've come up with 4 good reasons to participate in stewardship. And I know you're glad I didn't have 10. So the first one is, it builds community. For most of my adult life, I was the Catholic who came to Mass a little late and left before the final song. I recognized faces, but I didn't know a soul in the congregation, and I was fine with that. But last month and last night, as I lectured at the 5:30 Mass, I looked out at the congregation and I realized I knew more than half the people there. And it was such a lovely feeling, a feeling of heartwarming and home. Number 2, many hands make light work. We are a busy community with people from multitudes of backgrounds, needs, desires, and abilities. When more of us give our time, talent, and treasure, we ease the burdens for each other. Our ministries are more interesting and appealing because they are enriched by all of us, instead of a few who quite honestly are exhausted. One thing I've noticed since I've increased my involvement, there is a very small group of people who volunteer an extraordinary number of hours. Much of what we enjoy is the fruit of this small group of people. I promised Paul Kelty I'd say this quickly. We have a current need for our Chrism Mass, the reception, to be held on April 4th. First of all, it's a glorious Mass and worth attending. But second of all, if you would like to help prepare, serve, or clean up for the reception, please give Angela Wiggins a call at the office, or you can sign up in the back today. Number 3, you will experience more joy. Now that's a pretty big claim, but I am really comfortable making it. I was setting up a bereavement lunch a few weeks ago, and there was a team of people working in the kitchen to feed the homeless at the same time. Now this team, they obviously worked together for a long while. They were silly and fun and playful as they went about the very serious work of making a tasty, nourishing meal for our guests. Just before they opened the door to our guests, they gathered to pray, and they invited those of us who were working bereavement to join them. It was a simple, humble gathering, and it was joyous. Prayer and fellowship happen all the time here amongst the volunteers. Fourth, you will help others achieve heaven, which I love that I put this here, and then Father talked about us helping our neighbors have a fuller life. The actual purpose of stewardship, as St. Peter said, is that each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. I spent 12 years in Catholic education, and I did not realize so clearly that this is what I'm called to do until I read these words in a pamphlet on stewardship. I don't know what I was thinking about for those 12 long years, but it wasn't this. I know that many people in this room, go ahead, look to your left. Now look to your right. You are seeing the faces of people who are helping me and all of us achieve heaven with their prayer, participation, and generosity. Parish life allows us the flexibility to share in this calling. If you are interested in participating in one of these committees, please see me and some volunteers in the back of church, or if you'd rather, you can feel free to call Angela Wiggins at the office during the week. Thank you so much and have a glorious Sunday.
Thank you so much, Sarah. My friends, let us ask for the Lord.